Welcome back to the channel, guys. So today we're going to be installing the Keys Motorsport Chargepipe, and you guys may notice that this actually looks different from the ones that they sell. So they originally come in black. I decided to get this powder coated silver just because I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to make the engine pop more than what it would normally do with a gloss black Chargepipe. Also, I wanted to match the intake that I'm going to be installing it. Both videos were sponsored by Keys Motorsport, so big shout out to the guys over there. So this is actually going to make it look more unified with the Chargepipe and the intake being the same color. I'm a little bit picky when it comes to things matching, so the Chargepipe was a gloss black, which looked amazing, but the intake was a wrinkled black, and I've never really been a big fan of the wrinkled black. I'm pretty sure that it's for a reason, and I'm pretty sure that it probably helps reflect some of the heat out, just because I've seen some material that is actually made for that to kind of keep heat away. And that's what the intake was. It's made to keep, you know, some of the heat out. But I figured powder coating it silver is not really going to hurt it too much. So why not go ahead and do it? Just make the engine bay pop a little bit more. So now when you open up the engine, the hood, you're going to see silver here, silver there, the same finish. And I just thought it was going to look better overall. So the intake video is actually going to be separately, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do everything at once. But I'm going to be breaking up the videos apart. So we're going to be doing the Chargepipe first, and then we're going to be doing the intake as well, but then that would be for a separate video because it's going to have more content than just doing the install. So with the Chargepipe, it's something that is really not needed for the B58s, unlike the N55s and the N54s. And I feel like all that just kind of has to do because on the other cars, the Chargepipe is actually connected to the intercooler, so the pipe is kind of stationary, but at the same time the motor is flexing up and down every time you give it gas and stuff, and over time the plastic just gets brittle. So with all that movement from the engine, and while the rest of the pipe is kind of not moving with it as well, it's creating stress, which leads to cracking. So with this one, it's starting from the intake manifold and then working its way back to the turbo. So it's really not connected to anything that's stationary. So the whole engine kind of shifts with it, and that's why you don't really see a lot of B58 Chargepipes cracking. But obviously, if you're gonna be running high boost and everything, it's, you know, it's a better solution just to play it safe. Otherwise, you don't want to be one of those few that happens to deal with a charge crack pipe, because not everything is perfect, not everything is unbreakable, and there's always that risk of it breaking. So if you can replace it, go ahead and do so. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to take everything apart, and then we're going to continue with the install. So as you see, there's two clips here. So this one's already removed. And then in order to remove these, they have this little gray clip where all you got to do is just stick a screwdriver in there in between the gray and the black piece and twist it, and then it'll pop this out, and then all you got to do is just squeeze on this piece right here and pull it out. So go ahead and remove these two, just set them to the side over there, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take these out, which I believe these are T30s. So we're gonna go ahead and remove these three. So now that we got the T30s out, so that was three of those, we got the cables up here unplugged. You work your way down to here. Make sure you cover this just in case. There is a plug over here that you're gonna have to do the same thing that you did up there. Stick a screwdriver here, twist it, and pull it out. That will release that plug right there. And then also you're gonna unplug it from here. That way so you can get the Chargepipe out. And then also there is a clip down there that you're gonna have to stick a pick tool or a screwdriver just to get the clamp off, so you'll be able to pull this out. And also don't forget to unplug it from right here, so everything should come out as well. So we got the inlet out. What I ended up doing was I ended up unplugging it from here first, and then I ended up unplugging it from the lower end. That just made it a little bit easier for me. You guys can probably just go ahead and do it all at once without having to disconnect this, but obviously it might make your life a little bit easier, so I just went ahead and unplugged both ends, and then we can just go ahead and plug them back in. So now that this is out, you guys can see we have access to the Chargepipe. So all we have to do is remove this plastic clip and then just pull out the clamp, and then we should be able to pull the Chargepipe out, which will release it, and then everything should come right out. So there's that clip that we're gonna have to pop out. Just take a screwdriver. Doesn't really matter if it comes off in one piece or not, because you're not going to use it. Take that off. Alright, here's the little piece here. So that's going to come out. And now we have access to the clamp over here. So we just take the screwdriver. Let me get a smaller one. Take our flathead. There we go. Got it released. Obviously it's hard to show you guys on camera, but you guys get the idea. So once you guys have it unclipped, you can just kind of wiggle it around and try to get the whole thing out. Alright, we got this out. So now you just want to unhook the hose from here away from the charge pipe. There we go. Now we should be able to pull it out. Came right off. So I'm trying to do it with one hand. Oop. There we go. Now we got the old charge pipe out. So now once this is out, transfer your sensors over to the new one, and then we should be able to put it back together. So we're using a T20. Also, before you install it, you want to make sure that these are tightened. I remember when I first did my first charge pipe, I didn't double check, and I ended up having one of these actually twist off, and I ended up having a boost leak. So always double check that these are tightened enough so they don't come out. So now what I'm going to be doing is putting the charge pipe, the bottom end of the charge pipe in first. So we have the clamp on there, and what you want to do is once you press it up against the turbo, you want to be able to hear like a suction noise. That's how you know that the clamp is secured on there. And then once we do that, we're going to put on this coupler, which is going to be the narrow part end obviously first, and then we can put in the thicker end and connect it over there. So we do have hardware that comes with the charge pipe as well, which are these bolts right here. So make sure you use these. And then everything should be good to go. If necessary, you can make some adjustments to the coupler. That way so you can know that you have the same coverage on each side. So here we have the charge pipe finally on the car, fully seated. And so I had issues with this one. I had to stop the video and continue it, which it'll make sense on the next video. I'll kind of explain to you guys what was going on at that point as well. But I couldn't get this bolt on to go on there correctly. I had these two going in without any problems, but for some reason this one would not go in. It was like very tight. So I feel like maybe some debris might have gotten in there, maybe something from the powder coating might have gotten in between the threads. Honestly, I have no clue what happened there. So I ended up going to the store and getting one of those tapping kits. But then I found out that that's not the kit that I actually needed. So I ended up ordering another one off of Amazon, which I was able to get that within the next day, which thank Amazon Prime. But I was able to get that on the kit, and then with the thread chaser, all I had to do was just screw it in like a regular bolt, and then just turn it until it kind of cleaned up the threads. So just to finish up this video, guys, the thread chaser was a lifesaver. I'm gonna keep it. I wasn't gonna keep it at first. I was just gonna buy it, return it, yeah. But I thought about it, and with me working on cars constantly, like, you never know when that's gonna come in handy. So keeping it, I'm gonna link it down below for you guys, so if anybody's interested in seeing it, in case you happen to run into the same issue. Obviously, I don't know if it was like an install error, or like I said, if maybe some debris got in there, and while I was from the powder coating, and while I was turning the bolt, maybe it kind of jammed it in there. So that was preventing me from getting the bolt all the way in. So it was going in for about maybe like quarter of the way in to halfway in maybe, and then it was just stopping completely, and I didn't really want to force it because I was scared that I might strip it. So I just waited until I got the kit. We're good now, so we'll continue the next series with the intake install. So stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed for me, I forgot which side it's on, but do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and hit the like button. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.